Hey everyone, I've been a lurker on this subreddit for years, always fascinated by the real-life scary stories people share. I never thought I'd have one of my own, but here I am. This happened last summer, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. Maybe sharing it here will help me find some closure. My name is Ben, and I live on Maple Avenue in a small town in the Midwest. It's the kind of place where everyone knows everyone. And the biggest excitement we usually get is the annual 4th of July parade. Our street is a quiet one, lined with maple trees that create a beautiful canopy in the summer. The houses are all well kept, and people take pride in their lawns and gardens. Among the residents were the Robinsons. They moved in about 5 years ago, and like most new arrivals, they were welcomed with open arms. There was David, the father, Susan, the mother, and their daughter, Lily. Lily was around my age, mid-20s, and we had struck up a casual friendship. We'd chat occasionally when we bumped into each other while walking our dogs or at neighborhood gatherings. I always thought the Robinsons were a picture-perfect family. David was a well-respected lawyer. Susan worked part-time at a local boutique, and Lily was pursuing a degree in psychology at a nearby university. They seemed like the kind of family you'd see in a holiday commercial, always smiling and happy. Things started to change about a year ago. I noticed that David seemed more withdrawn. He used to be the life of the neighborhood BBQs, always cracking jokes and offering to help with the grill. But then he stopped coming out as much. When I did see him, he looked tired, almost gaunt, like he was carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. I figured he was just stressed from work. Then there was the night I saw Lily sitting on her porch crying. It was a warm summer evening and I was out for a walk with my dog, Max. As I passed the Robinsons' house, I saw Lily huddled on the steps, her face buried in her hands. I felt a pang of concern and considered going up to her, but something held me back. I didn't want to intrude. I told myself I'd check on her the next day, but I never got the chance. The next morning, Maple Avenue was buzzing with activity. Police cars, an ambulance, and a crowd of neighbors stood outside the Robinsons' house. My heart sank. I hurried over, feeling a knot of dread in my stomach. Mrs. Thompson, our resident busybody, filled me in on the grim details. Lily had been found dead in the backyard. She'd been brutally murdered. The shock of Lily's death hit the neighborhood hard. We were all in disbelief. How could something so horrific happen here? As the police began their investigation, more and more disturbing details came to light. David Robinson was arrested a week later. The news was a gut punch to everyone who knew him. How could this be? David was the guy who volunteered at the community center, who coached the Little League team, who everyone trusted. It didn't make sense. The trial was a media circus. Every day, reporters lined the street hoping to catch a glimpse of the proceedings. The prosecution laid out a chilling story. David had been hiding a dark secret. He'd been battling a severe addiction to prescription drugs, something no one, not even Susan or Lily, had known about. The stress of maintaining his facade, combined with the effects of the drugs, had pushed him over the edge. The night Lily was killed, David had been high. An argument had erupted between them, something trivial that escalated out of control. In a drug-fueled rage, David had attacked Lily, beating her to death. The details were horrific, and it was hard to reconcile this monster with the man we thought we knew. Susan was devastated. She had no idea about David's addiction, or the darkness that had been brewing inside him. She moved away shortly after the trial, unable to bear the memories of what had happened. The house on Maple Avenue stood empty for months, a grim reminder of the tragedy that had shattered our peaceful community. I still walk past the Robinsons' house every day, and every time I do, I think about Lily. I think about the times we chatted, the times we laughed, and the time I saw her crying on the porch. I wish I had gone to her that night, offered her some comfort, maybe even a way out, but I didn't, and that's something I'll have to live with for the rest of my life. Thanks for listening, everyone. It helps to get this out there. Hold your loved ones close and don't ignore the signs that something might be wrong. You never know what darkness someone might be hiding behind a smile. Stay safe out there.